Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name is Kevin.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Justin.
And today we have some beers from Pennsylvania that have made their way back. Mark and Justin and their respective others and their wee ones made a pilgrimage to Sesame Place.
Right. Big Bird is our god.
That's right. And now they stopped at Neshaminy Creek Brewing. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I was really working on how to get into a Sesame Street song for the intro, but I just couldn't put it together.
Tell me how you get to Neshaminy Creek.
Yeah. Foamy beer, keeping the set away. I don't really know where I was going with it. I was working on that.
Yeah.
So, I did not go. I do not have a small child as of yet to enjoy Sesame Place, and I think they frown upon individual adults being there.
I don't think they care as long as you have a ticket.
Yeah, I think as long as you've paid to worship Big Bird, I think that you can arrive.
Let's be clear, it's Elmo. Nobody gives a shit about Big Bird anymore.
I don't know.
Elmo rules over Sesame Street.
I don't. Well, obviously you got to see Elmo. We didn't. Was the line for Elmo epic?
No, I mean that was the
there's
nice.
14 of them, so no.
That was the nice thing about the
You
day
would
that
think
we were
that.
there, because it was, the anticipation was that the area was going to get dumped on by the leftovers of the tropical storm. And thankfully the weather held out until almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But
That's not bad.
a lot of people didn't go to the park that day.
Yeah, it was definitely nice.
No one wants a moist Elmo.
No.
It feels like a bad sex act.
But yeah, I will contend and I will fight anyone that tells me that Snuffleupagus isn't the best character.
I'm down with Snuffy.
I got a shirt for myself while I was there, and it's just a picture of Snuffleupagus walking down Sesame Street, and it says, "Every day I be snuffling."
Every day I'm snuffling.
Yeah. So I'm a big Snuffleupagus fan. I'm such a big fan that I wanted Mark to park in the Snuffleupagus parking lot.
Okay.
However, that's like a quarter of a mile from the entrance to the park. So Mark is like, "Nah, we should park closer." I'm like, "No, I really feel like we should just park."
Yeah, we parked in Orange Burt, I want to say.
Orange Burt?
Orange Burt.
As opposed to Red Burt?
Well, it was Green Burt was right next to it.
Okay.
Which confused me. I didn't understand why they were both Burts.
I didn't understand. They probably ran out of characters.
Well, why couldn't you have Ernie?
There was an Ernie.
But if you follow that logic,
Ernie.
you would imagine that they would have started at the parking that's closest to the crosswalk into the park.
Right.
And okay, go through the characters, and then okay, we added this expansion.
Oh,
Shit, we don't have any more characters.
Okay, so now this is Green Burt. Yeah, all the way in the back.
Good point. Maybe when they opened the park, they didn't have Rosita and all the other now ancillary
No, they definitely didn't have Rosita and Abby Kadabi.
Listen, don't ever say that name again.
Abby Kadabi.
Don't ever say that again. That's the shittiest. Somebody was so lazy when they named that character. They're so lazy. What rhymes with Abby? Oh, Kadabi. No one could come up with anything better than that.
I got nothing on that.
Says the fan of Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus is a badass name. There's no alliteration or rhyming in it. There's no weak character. And on top of that,
Snuffleupagus?
He's also imaginary.
Right. Adults can't see him, so he's badass. Actually, it makes him more like a pedophile, I guess. But all right, I'm creeped out now.
No, he actually does exist.
He does exist now?
Yeah.
I thought it was just
Now
a
he does.
imaginary friend.
That's where it started, much like the
now.
janitor in Scrubs.
Janitor in Scrubs is real.
Yes, I know. But in the first season of Scrubs, the whole thing, because they I forget the actor's name. They liked his addition so much that they created that role for him.
Yeah.
And none of the other cast interacts with him throughout the entire first season.
Really?
Yes.
I'll have to look back at that.
And they were leaving it kind of like JD was like.
Yeah, I remember reading something online where it was either the janitor is made up, or JD is the figment of the janitor's imagination, or something like that. It's probably that the janitor is a figment of JD's imagination.
Yeah. But there was either a special or a TV movie or something where Snuffleupagus was like, "Hey everybody," and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, Big Bird, we're so sorry, we didn't believe you."
Wow. I was not aware of your devotion to Sesame Street.
Well, I mean, this is from my youth.
No, I know that. That's the thing. I'm not.
And I only know, I know enough of the situation now where I can say that Elmo rules over.
And there was that article that we found a couple years ago that they talked about, like, the takeover of Elmo over Sesame Street.
Well, yeah.
Elmo's the problem.
The toy is what did it.
Right, but like how, after Jim Henson had died, and they kind of converted, not that they lost their way, but it's just they became more of a traditional company. Like, hey, how can we maximize profits?
Right.
So, Elmo makes the most money, so we're gonna emphasize Elmo the most. And like it goes into the whole structure of how like Elmo is supposed to represent the little kids, that you make a mistake, and then you got someone like Big Bird who's the big kid that kind of shows them like, hey, this is how you behave when you're a big kid. And now it's all
because Elmo is basically a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas Big Bird is like
a 5 or 6 year old.
Yeah, like 6 to 8. So certain level of maturity there. And back when we were young watching it, like the aspiration was to be like Big Bird. Now the kids are aspiring to be like Elmo, and which is not a good thing because Elmo talks in the third person, among other things.
Kevin never does that.
No.
Okay.
I didn't know about any of that, and I'm wondering if our listeners did. If you have a Sesame Street story, let us know.
And like 1/3 to 1/2 of the episodes now are dedicated to either Elmo's world, which is fucking nonsensical. There's this grown man in an oversized suit in every one of the segments, and his name is Mr. Noodle. And he, like...
I feel like you're describing to me that thing that was on YouTube recently, where it was it was some weird thing where like it was animated, a kid would break a bottle and like cut somebody's head off or something. And it was on loop in these on YouTube Kids. They game the algorithm to get this really fucked up thing in front of the kids.
Oh no!
It was
but this is like actually legit.
I know it's legit, but like that's what's scaring me, is that it sounds more like the thing that I was talking about.
and now they're like switching over from Elmo's World segment to Elmo the Musical.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So after all this talk of Elmo on you, Pierce.
Yeah, well, I'll just say this. I barely watched Sesame Street as a kid. I watched way more Reading Rainbow than Sesame Street.
Suck my dick!
That's right. Yeah, if anybody doesn't remember that, I'll throw that in the show notes. DMX doing the Reading Rainbow song. That is the best thing you'll watch this whole year.
I hear that up every once in a while now, just when I need a really good laugh.
I'll show you.
And I watched the whole thing through.
Yeah,
I showed that to my wife, and she then she felt like offended. She was deeply hurt by this. She's like, I need
fuck with the Reading Rainbow song.
She's like, I need to watch something happy and pure. like I had smashed the light out of the world. She's like, no, I need to see something happy now.
Okay. Well, yes, I agree that we need beer, and I can say this. While we were there on Friday, we were trying to find a place to eat, and Mark and I were talking earlier in the week, and we were clearly trying to find a brew pub of some sort. And
there are 4 breweries within 15 minutes of Sesame Place, but none of them have food. And
less good.
Well, yeah, one of them.
Good that
one of them had food. One of them had food, but it was
that's true. But it was
clearly
definitely not a family place.
No, you couldn't go there. It wasn't kid friendly. There was no kids menu. And
right.
There were no kids. And as Mark definitely pointed out, there were no kids in any of the pictures on Google Images.
Yeah.
So we skipped that, but. Neshaminy Creek, I believe, has been around for 8 years as a brewery.
6.
6.
The brewery is just celebrating 6 years, and then
happy birthday!
Their Borough Brew House, which is the brew pub that we went to for dinner, is wrapping up their 1-year celebration.
Okay.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that was that night that I was talking to the hostess there, and she was saying that we picked a good night to go because they had some of the beers that were on tap that night were not normally on tap because of the
because of the anniversary.
Yeah, which. We didn't even really know when they put it out.
Yeah.
Overall, it was pretty awesome. We'll talk more about it. But the first beer we're going to drink, I believe, is the Churchill Lager, right?
Well, I mean, let me just give you the
the
2 lines that I was able to cobble together because
there's not a lot on this.
I tried and I couldn't really find a lot of information on the founding or history of the brewery.
Yeah, I was trying to talk to the manager because we had the problem with my card, and I was trying to talk to the manager a little bit about it, and she was basically they were mobbed. They were so busy. They were she was like, oh, send me an email, and I totally didn't. So,
but the brewery proper was founded in 2010. By Jim Myers, Rob Jan, and Steve Capelli, all homebrewers, as is typical. And the brewery finally opened its doors in 2012, and the following year they won a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival for this first beer that we're drinking.
Wow.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Which is their Churchville Lager, and they've gone on to continued success. I know they've taken other medals at GABF for a smoked lager that they do.
Okay.
We had that, right?
No, that wasn't that one.
No?
That was something else. It was what was that called? Like it had like bacon and something.
I'll get it. I took a picture of the menu while we were there.
Yeah. Good.
But their second location's been open for a little over a year. The food there was very good.
Usual kind of brew pub food.
No, like
Even better.
a little more interesting, honestly. Like I had chorizo tacos.
I'm into that.
Amy had soft shell crab tacos.
And those had that kimchi that you had too.
Yeah, I got a side order of kimchi.
And the kimchi was with the
Anytime.
spice level on the kimchi
Yeah.
was really on point. It was spicy enough where it balanced. Like
Did
the
they like
vinegar
bury it in the
aspect.
parking lot? Did they bury it in like purple Big
Mayonnaise
Bird?
jars.
No.
Buried out in purple Big Bird? I want to know.
No.
Yeah, very, very good stuff.
Yeah, but this smoked beer was called Bacon Industry. And
Okay.
it was a Hellas Rausch beer brewed with bacon and beechwood. It was beechwood and cherry smoked malt with bacon. The way
Interesting.
they wrote it here.
I don't
Beer.
believe that's the medal winner though.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one we had. That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
I could be wrong, but I don't believe that's the medal winner.
No, their names were not the most creative, but they were the most on point. Like Bacon Industry is a great name, and then they have a Weizenbach called the Neshaminator.
Anytime
I
you got that.
don't know if we brought that back or not. I can't
No,
remember.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
But like the Imperial Stout that we're saving for part 2 is like one of the simplest names where it's just Leon.
Yeah, we might as well say that up front. This is part 1 of part 2 for these because the beers were so good that we brought home 6 different beers. And
Yeah, because we
uh,
had picked out like 4 beers, I want to say,
Right.
that we definitely wanted to get, and I was like, we might as well just get 2 more.
Yeah. No, I'm still stuck on Neshaminator. That it sounds like a bad high school nickname for somebody. You know?
somebody got really drunk. And
Yeah.
he
Who's
started
that?
running
That's the
around.
Neshaminator, man. You don't know him? He went nuts at that party.
They have the Jägermeister Maibach, which I think
That's
we
number
have.
3 today.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, this first one is a Vienna Lager, the Churchville.
Right.
And I was personally fairly blown away when I had this one.
Well, I mean, as Mark was telling us about it, I started taking a couple sips, and it's got really nice a really strong malt, caramel character to it in the nose, and just this clean finish and nice, beautiful color to it. A little
Yeah,
bit of
yeah.
redness in there.
Yeah.
It looks almost like brandy or scotch, like that kind of color.
Yeah, it's got a golden caramel color.
And
And I think you hit the nail on the head with the aroma. It's kind of a spicy, sweet
Yeah.
aroma, and the flavor follows through completely. Just based on what they have in their menu here, they do a lot of lagers,
Right.
and they're very good.
well, this is absolutely delicious.
So it's 4.9% alcohol,
Awesome.
20.4 IBUs, exclusively hopped with German Tettnang,
Okay.
That's one of my faves.
and their flavor text for it is Pennsylvania brewers are known for world-class lager, and this 2013 GABF medal-winning Vienna style no fuss amber lager is clean, crisp, and brewed with Munich Vienna malts that give it a touch of malt backbone and toast-like character.
Okay.
Hopped exclusively with the German Tettnang. It's got enough hop bitterness to counter the malt backbone as well. Lager for 6 weeks. The Churchville lager comes in at 4.9% ABV. Perfect night out with friends, family, and the holiday barbecue. Don't be afraid to order a new lager.
This is incredible. Yeah, this is really great. Is that spiciness from the Tettnang? Is that what that would be?
I would think it's partially that, and also a little bit of probably mixed with the biscuity notes from the. You said there was Vienna and
Munich.
Munich. Yeah.
Okay. But it's really tasty that it has that little bit of it's not cinnamony, but it tastes almost like I'm more familiar with it in Saaz hops. Like that's the same kind of spiciness that you get from those are noble hops, you would call them?
So are Tetnang.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not too familiar with the groupings on all.
Saz is typically grown in the Czech Republic.
Yeah. This is I think a lot of people would say that the Tetnang is sort of a German variation.
Okay.
Well, they're actually related or not, but I guess similar.
No, this is absolutely brilliant. And at 4.9, like this can replace water or milk. Like
this is my kind of lawnmower beer.
Like no, this is just like live, like just have this all the time. Like
I
really
agree.
Great beer.
I think when
Churchill's life.
we were telling Mark Kevin, the way that Mark and I ordered is they do 7-ounce pours, which is really convenient, especially when you want to try everything. They don't do flights. So we would each order a 7-ounce pour of something and drink half of it and switch.
Yeah.
And I think I got this first, this, and I was like, damn. And I passed it off to you. I don't remember, but I remember when I drank it.
I don't remember.
Like a light bulb went off in my head, like Vienna lager, because I want to brew a Mexican lager, which is similar.
Right.
And I'm like, this is the malt character that is a Vienna lager. Like right
it's
away.
the same malt character. It's just it doesn't have that little bit of spiciness in it.
Yeah.
Like when you call it a Mexican lager, when you go for the Mexican lager. But this is great. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna put this out there and put it out there as a keg for me.
Wow.
Like this is, I would want this on tap in my home and just be able to have this with any day of the week, any time of year, with any meal. Like I think it would just go well all the time.
I think you could serve this to anyone. Like Mark, I want you to give this to your father-in-law.
It might be a little too bitter for him.
It might be, but like I still think that he would like. I think it would be close. If it's even in the realm of something he would consider drinking, I consider it a win.
Oh, I think he would finish it.
Yeah.
But that would be it.
That's interesting. Like it's interesting that this is too bitter because like we don't dig bitter beers, and like you said, Miller High Life is his jam, right?
Yeah. Well, also this being from Pennsylvania makes me think of the Yingling.
Oh, of course, yes.
You know, and that this is clearly in the same style family. A little bit more flavor to it. The spice, that hop note gives it a little bit more spice character, but I feel like the malt character there is very similar. Like that same kind of color, same level of heaviness in the mouthfeel and how it sits in your stomach, kind of like very similar to that if you're looking for something to compare it to.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Yingling, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, it's sort of like the Fisher Price, my first version of this beer, because this one's, like you said, more flavorful, more impactful. It's not that Yingling's bad. I drink Yingling, anytime.
Delicious one.
Before I get my rating, I think it's been probably like 24 episodes since we've explained our ratings to anyone.
All right, so you do one, I'll do one, Mark will do one, and go.
Yeah. So we go in order of how much we want to drink, essentially, at a time. And it goes from 1 to 5. 1 is being a taster, 2 being a bomber, 3 being a growler. Nope. Got it wrong. 1 being a taster, 2 being a pint.
Scratch that. Start over.
1 being a taster, 2 being a pint, 3 being a bomber, 4 is a growler, the full-size 64-ounce version, not like when you guys try to fuck with me and say 32.
Or the little growlette.
As Kevin just gave this fantastic beer a keg.
Right.
So that's what we have. And for me,
Which is the Cold Stone equivalent of, gotta have it.
That's the Cold Stone equivalent of, hey, you know what happened? I overflowed your fucking bowl. And even though you're super fat and you wanted to get a small and feel better about yourself, I'm going to give you this big motherfucking one for the same price. And you're like, oh, this is why I'm so fat. So I'm going to give this a growler. It's not a keg for me because it's a style that I'm getting more accustomed to liking, but the sweetness of it is a little bit one note for me. Just that tiny little ding is going to keep it from being a keg, but a growler, it's a phenomenal beer.
I understand where you're going with that sweetness in there, but I feel like that spice in the beginning of the sip, it doesn't get you the first sip that you have it, but when you go back to the second sip, it kind of cleans off that the spice. It cleans off the little bit of sweetness that's sitting there. But I also think that like, if you're eating something with this,
yes,
that's gonna be washed right away. I don't think it's so cloying that it's gonna coat your tongue and you're not gonna be able to taste anything else.
No, I definitely would consider it cloying. What do you think over there, Mark?
I'm gonna side with you and give it a growler because I really like it a lot. I just don't want to have it on hand all the time.
Yeah,
but it's very good. I like that it has a nice crisp finish. I just don't want a keg of it sitting around all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it could easily be, the gateway to knowing a little bit more about what a more flavorful craft beer is about.
Yeah, because they're I forget the name of it. They're cream ale.
The Croydon Cream Ale.
The Croydon, yeah. So that's like somebody stumbles into the place, doesn't know what the difference is between a Pilsner and a Helles. Like, oh, okay. Like, you want High Life? Okay, here you go. Try this. Start there. And then after they're like, oh yeah, this is really good. Then they move them to the Churchill.
That's what I think they do really well there is take styles like a cream ale, Vienna Lager. We didn't have their IPAs, but the Hefeweizen and the Helles. All those styles that are people I think would mostly consider, for lack of a better word, bland and not interesting. Right. But they do them so well that they become a standout.
Yeah.
Their names are pretty good. Like, I want to touch base. They're one of their IPAs that is like one of the flagships year-round offerings is called The Shape of Hops to Come.
Yeah, it's an Imperial IPA too.
Oh, that's an Imperial?
Yeah. What they have on their
Candy Line is the standard.
Yeah. Right. What they have on their menu is intensely hop forward brew with Apollo, Newport, Simcoe, Topaz, and Citra. So yeah, they're basic kitchen sink in that thing.
Yeah. We got a whole bunch of stuff, so we're gonna put it in here. Just to go back on what you were saying there, Justin. As much as I always love a good name, like a good double entendre, a good pun for a beer name. Like I love that because that's just my style of humor. And as much as I like a fancy beer or something that's really has a lot of layers to it, I really, really appreciate
like an onion.
Oh well, yeah, like onions, layers, lots of layers. How about a parfait? Maybe like a parfait. Everybody loves parfaits.
Motherfucking parfaits.
Everybody loves parfaits.
He has no idea what we're talking about.
You don't know where we're going.
I'm so hungry. Yeah. No, I don't, but I'm hungry and I love parfaits.
Okay. Well, you're the one that already looks like Shrek in the big green shirt, but that's what that was from.
Oh.
But I still love it.
I saw all of them. It's like twice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway.
Even the fourth?
There's a fourth?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Then no.
I think you and I saw the second one or something in the theater. It had to be the second one because the opening sequence. I remember being in the theater with the opening sequence and they're doing like the forging of the ring.
Oh
and
yeah.
Him and I are laughing out loud at this, and all the other kids are like, yay! All the little kids that are there are like, oh yay! Like there's cartoons, like yay! And we're like, it's the One Ring! Ah!
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if we got cat boiling laughter, but it was close.
Yeah. I remember I saw the first one in the theater with Andy Stein.
Right.
And we were cracking up over that one, like the scene where the guy wearing the big head
is
like
running around,
running back and forth through the velvet rope lines.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Really off the rails there.
Tangents.
But what I was trying to say was I really appreciate a beer that's a basic style that's just done really well.
I think for me, that's essentially
like a white girl with a pumpkin spice latte.
No.
You're wrong about that.
That one you took too far. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I agree. Every time I have a beer like that, which is again why I enjoy this place so much, it stands out. When I love a beer that has a ton of adjuncts in it,
right.
I tend to gravitate toward those styles.
Uh-huh.
That's why when I drink something like that Vienna Lager, big, huge bells go off, fireworks go off, because you're like, there's not all this crazy shit, but man, it just keeps tasting good the more I drink.
Right, but it's got to be really, really well done. Like we've been to enough breweries and tried enough of them where we've had their basic style, and you go, okay, that's better than homebrew, but not like it doesn't amaze me. It doesn't stand out to me.
Well, everybody's heard it on Food Network when somebody goes, oh, they cook this simple. When you cook something simple like this or Top Chef, it's got to be perfect, and that's what they did.
Right, and that's really what it is. When it is just going to be an example of style, basic beer, you have to do it perfectly, for lack of a better word, and they did with that beer.
Yes, I think you're gonna, hopefully I'm correct, but I think you're gonna find that with a bunch more.
No, this second one we have, is it Dummies or Dooms?
I think it's Dummus.
Dummus.
Yeah, I was actually wondering that myself.
Dumbass?
It's either
It's Dummes, but I'm kind of thinking it's like hell, so it's dumbs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or dumb, but then I'm saying dummies because they have clowns on the.
My German is not that good.
Yeah, I don't sprechen the Deutsch very well. But it's a Dunkel lager, a Munich-style dark lager that comes in at 5.5% ABV.
Yes.
They have some clowns going in the dunk tanks in here, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, the artwork on all their cans is pretty fun to look at.
Yeah, in the show notes, I'll put up some of the pictures they had in the, or some of the images they used in the brewery itself or in the brew pub, and they were pretty cool. They used their hop cone that's on a lot of their artwork, and they made a bunch of different versions of it. They were really cool. I actually asked the hostess if they sold them because I kind of wanted one of them for the house, and she was like, "No, but we've been thinking about it."
What, the hop cone?
No, not just hop cone, but the pictures themselves.
Oh,
but they were
like
really, the artwork was
the artwork that they had decorating the space.
Some cool prints are always welcome.
So what do we get on the nose here?
It's like I get just, and it falls through in the flavor as well, but you get just a hint of like a roasted grain.
Yeah, you know what I almost get?
Sweetness.
Almost get cola.
Yeah, that's actually
on the aroma. Yeah,
it tastes almost. It's not taste, but the smell is almost like RC cola, kind of in there.
Yeah, it has the same sort of caramel sweetness, only amped up a little bit, that I got from the Vienna Lager.
Yeah.
With the addition of some roast, which I think is a pretty good description of what a dunkel usually is.
Yeah, I can give you the flavor text. So 5.6 ABV or 5.5 on this batch, I guess. The Munich-style Dunkel Lager is insanely drinkable, with notes of chocolate and a hint of roast in the aroma and flavor, rounded out by toffee, toasted bread, and hints of chewy biscuit as well.
Yeah, I think chewy is a good word. It's not that it's thick like an imperial stout, but there's definitely a level of
it definitely has a
mouthfeel.
thicker mouthfeel than the church film.
Slightly higher viscous.
Yes.
Slightly. Like, I don't know what degrees viscosity goes in, but this would just be 1.
Yeah, it's only a hint higher. I mean, it's only enough to be noticeable when you're paying attention.
Yeah, but it's a light black in color, dark brown, very dark brown.
That's one of the only times I think we've said light black in a serious way.
No, it really is.
It's totally right though. I'm not disagreeing.
Right? It's not black at all.
Yeah. At some point, we have to either get T-shirts made up or just have a custom one made up for Kevin.
Yeah,
it's like black.
Yeah, okay. But it has to be like really dark gray. Or very very dark gray, and then in white lettering on it.
I'll write the Pantone company and find out what the most acceptable light black they have is. Flavor wise, I think the roast is simultaneously strong and restrained. It's the perfect amount of roast to add to something where you're not overpowering the sweetness that you're trying to get from the malt.
Yeah, it's tasty. I like it.
Yeah, it's really. You hit I think you said it there, Justin. It really is the perfect next step up in of adding roast to this beer. It tastes very similar to the Vienna lager that we just had, but that sweetness that existed in the last one isn't here because it's been replaced with the roast. And they were right, man. It's insanely drinkable.
Yeah, it really is.
It really does. Go smooth. It's got a nice note that you hit in the beginning, kind of stays there, and it never gets it hasn't gotten to the point where it's coating my tongue, or it hasn't gotten to the point where I feel like I'm charred, like I've been eating too much of any one thing.
The one thing that stands out to me the most is that we're getting a nice I'd say a medium full mouthfeel, and at the same time it's sweet and it finishes dry.
Right.
Yeah. That is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah. But this is absolutely delicious. Yeah.
So where are you gonna go with this one?
Oh man, I don't know. I think this one's gonna fall I'm really on the borderline between growler and keg for me.
I figured it would be,
but I'm probably gonna go with the growler on this one.
Yeah.
Just because I do have a sweet tooth, and I like that little bit of extra sweetness, and this one's a little drier to me.
Mm-hmm.
But in no way am I gonna be angry if this is what's around.
Yeah. This one's gonna be a keg for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be throwing out kegs all over the place.
I
feel like it's gonna cheapen it, but I mean. they are 2 for 2 on home. They've had 2 at bats right now, and they hit 2 home runs.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
What this adds to me for the Vienna Lager didn't is the complexity of the roast, and also being a little bit drier. There's not a time or place where I wouldn't want to drink this. Plus, they're able to get this much flavor into. I know it's not exactly session level at 5.6. It's a little bit higher, but it's for me, especially being with the biggest fat piece of shit.
You can still have more than one of them.
Oh yeah, you could drink. You could drink a bunch of these throughout a meal, especially a meal like we had when we were there, and it's fantastic. And a lot of people will enjoy this that wouldn't anticipate enjoying it.
This would go really well with those hush puppies.
Yes, those hush puppies that I only got to smell were very looked fantastic.
But think about
my
this.
wife only shared one of them.
Well, I know. I would have asked what they were for. I wasn't going to fuck with that.
But think about the great thing. The thing with hush puppies is the fried corn.
Sweet.
So you add sweet to it. Again.
Yeah, but these also, like, the way they did them there, they had, like on the bottom of them, so they were served on, like, a piece of slate.
Okay.
So on the bottom of them was this, like, spicy mustard.
Oh,
that fixed them to the slate.
Mark was chewing on the slate,
and then
trying to get it off.
And then they had it was some kind of spiced honey that they drizzled on top of them too. So yeah, they were really good.
Mark was like taking the time to fork and trying to get it out of the
scraping the mustard off because it's so good.
Oh man!
Yeah, saw you a couple times. Look at Amy. You're kind of like, you have that other one. No, you're not, aren't you? Fuck.
Damn it! I ate a lot of kimchi though.
Yes, well, yeah, because there was kimchi. There was a good amount.
Because
of kimchi
I ordered the crock of kimchi, but then Amy, like, it was a little too much for Amy, and like her tacos had the kimchi on them.
Yeah.
So after she was done, she was like,
"If you want more, like shrapnel."
Yeah, like I had like
the taco
3
remains,
kimchi tacos basically.
Yeah.
Can I get a couple extra like tortillas here?
No, like most of the tortilla was there because she ate out what she wanted with her fork. So I was just like picking up the tortillas and go, wow.
I'm now questioning if Amy ate tacos with a fork, that I may have to have a discussion with her. That was proper.
I mean,
there wasn't a lot of option here.
Okay.
She does it with the pizza all the time.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, we were putting on earlier.
I've never seen her do it with a hamburger, at least.
Hey.
So where are you at with this, ratings-wise there?
I'm going to stay at a growler with this one
as
well. Yeah. I really like it a lot, but it's definitely not on demand.
Okay.
But there's not going to be any leftovers of this, that's for sure.
No, and what,
no, it's empty.
Yeah, no, I already checked it.
Yeah.
I was pouring it, and when I poured it, I realized I got basically, a 4-ounce pour of it with what was left. I was like, okay.
I just got to finish this up.
The food there was, I have to say, the food there was pretty fantastic overall. I got a burger. I stayed really simple.
Can't go wrong with a good burger.
I was a little bummed because I was looking forward to having something that was more interesting than a burger.
Right.
But I was really glad I got it. The flavor, there was an aioli on there.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound ridiculous to most people, but whenever I get something like an aioli or, God forbid, from Mark Mayo or something on a burger, the first thing I do when I get it is I take the bun off, top bun, and I look. Because a lot of times you just get this like blob in the middle and you're biting around the burger.
Oh, yeah, I remember him talking about this.
No, it's got to be spread out.
I took the time. They literally had the perfect, and I'll say this for you, Mr. Jew, schmear of aioli.
That was a good job too. You got the
and it sounds weird, but that attention to detail followed through in everything that we had while we were there. We had a problem with our check where we ordered some beers they didn't have.
Right.
And that level of detail followed through to them making sure that I got things that were comparable to what we got. The whole experience was very good.
I got to say, most recently, if you want a pretty good burger, I went to this place in St. James with Rachel last weekend while you guys were at Sesame Place.
Turn the lid.
Turn the lid.
I'm not turning the lid on purpose. I only want a little bit.
Yeah. And then the lid almost falls out.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
Anyway, we went to...
on my computer that has everything in my whole world.
To grab a bite to eat in St. James. It's this place called Liberty Cafe. It's across from like Spontino's.
I know where Spontino's is.
All right. It's like this little joint across the way. Really good burgers.
I think they might be closing.
What? Liberty?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope not.
I think I read something about that recently. It might be another place in St. James, but...
Well, anyway, went over there. Burger was really good. Had good beer list. And they do spiked milkshakes in the for dessert. Like we were there on Saturday. We were there on a Saturday night, and it's half price on like their special for Saturday was half price banana splits.
Nice.
So I would order 2.
Yeah. And then after that, we went over to Po' Boy, So Bobby.
Oh, nice.
With Cliff, and he did some really bad karaoke on purpose, and it's hysterical.
Well, I was going to say, was Cliff like drunk or something? Because Cliff doesn't do bad karaoke.
He does when he wants to do bad karaoke.
Well, that's how good at karaoke he is.
Yeah,
He
it was
can
really
control the level of
entertaining.
karaoke.
Yeah, I just finished the song. Yeah, that's not.
That's all right. All right. So speaking of finishing it,
But yeah,
and
you should
good
check that place out. Hopefully they're still open.
and good names.
Yeah.
Jägermeister.
Bye bye. And this one is at 8.2% ABV.
Yes.
Yeah, this will fuck you up quick.
All right. So, Mark, real quick, could you remind me what a Maibach is versus a like we had the Dunkel is that's just a dark lager, right?
Right.
And so Maibach, what's
A
the
Maibach is an Imperial Helles.
Okay, gotcha. I think
Right, and Maibach means
May,
and then Bach is strong. So
so. It's the strong May beer.
Yeah. So what it is, like, basically, you know, back in the day, the
Mhm.
brewing season was in the autumn when it was cooler.
Right.
because
So
that's the only time you could
They
lager.
would they would
Yeah.
make the beers and then put it in the caves to store.
Right. You would lager it over the winter.
Right. The last batch or batches of beer that they
Right.
made stronger because it was going to be in the caves longer. Because when they started pulling beer out of the caves the next
Right.
year, they pulled out, you know.
Yeah. They
stuff
work. They
that's
take
brewed
the
early.
yeah. Right.
So they would up the alcohol content
Okay.
on the beer that was going to be stored for longer.
Mm.
And it just so happens that they generally got around to drinking that beer come May,
Okay.
which is where May comes into the name. But, you know, it's a Hellesbach or a Maibach.
Okay. There we go.
Yes. It has become one of my more favorite styles. I haven't had a lot of them, but obviously LIVME did a collaboration with Long Ireland.
Right.
And I loved that beer.
Yeah, that's
That was pretty good.
When they had this, when we saw this, we had to try it because, you know, it's now a new style that I want to explore a little bit. On the aroma, I get some light notes of honey. The sweetness rather than being caramel like the first two is a little
it's
lighter.
definitely more honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honey, not quite floral, but almost like the beginning of a floral note.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think for me it plays between a light earthy and a floral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the head brewer, Jeremy Myers, has, you know, a thing for the German styles.
Ew. He's doing them. The first two he did awesome. So.
Fucking crushing them.
Yeah, well, I mean, and like, I smell this and I smell Noblesse.
Yes.
But there's not a heck of a lot of flavor text for this beer. It's just a multi true to form German style Maibach lager.
Yeah, that's all it says on the menu. It's German style Helles Maibach lager, and I think it's kind of like defining, like in the dictionary, defining it with the same words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I don't know that there's another way to really describe it.
No.
It's exactly what it
At
is.
some point, yeah, it has to be what it is. But it's got a nice honey tone to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty color.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's the color is interesting. And also the clarity. We didn't really talk about the clarity. The clarity of all three beers.
It's excellent.
Oh, yeah.
They're all
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of them.
Brian.
This is good.
Yeah,
This is good.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the earlier ones that we ordered when we were there. Like, we started off with the bacon one.
yeah, because Mark saw that shit. He was like, "Bacon one, order the bacon one."
It's like,
I was the same way though.
Yeah.
Fair.
it was like, oh, we got to try that one, and then
But that's honestly.
like, I'm pretty sure like this was the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely fucked that up though, because like when you look at it, just for those at home, when you look at a menu and you see smoked bacon beer, and you want to try a whole bunch of other beers,
Shouldn't be probably number
maybe
one.
don't drink that first.
Yeah, but we also have practice drinking plenty of smoked beer.
Yes, it doesn't like that, and spicy beers don't jack with us like most people it would for most people.
Right.
But in general, when you're out there, yeah, the weird shit should come last.
Right.
For me and the flavor, the honey comes through the same as the aroma, sort of the same intensity. And again, another really crisp beer.
Yeah,
Yet still having a sweet quality.
yeah, and it has enough bitterness there so that the sweetness isn't cloying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what this beer, and this is going to sound really, really cheesy to it, but this is a spring day beer.
Yeah.
Like if you took a beautiful spring day where it's a little bit warm and you got that kind of crispness through the day, And it's just like that first day when you're hitting the sun, you're like, hey, I can actually feel warmth again.
Right.
You know, after the dark, horrible days of winter.
When it's like 45 degrees outside, and you're just like, I don't need a coat today.
Right, but that first day when it's like it hits 50 and you're like, oh yeah, this is great.
When 50 feels like 70.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is.
When you're like, oh man, I don't need a coat.
Yeah,
that's what
nice.
it is. It's crisp. But it's got a little bit of warming to it, and it's so good.
And here's the thing: if you gave somebody and they drank a pint of it,
everybody would like this.
20 minutes later, they're gonna be like, I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, it's 8.8. They're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, 8.2.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
still,
this was
it is very
hefty.
hefty. Aside from a little bit of warming, it doesn't smell alcoholic. You know, it's not fusely by any means.
Yeah.
It's very well done and very good.
But I think it might like have mind control powers because like the picture on here has like the aroma from it like capturing a goat. You see what I'm talking about there? Like,
oh yeah.
Like I think it has mind control powers, and man.
Wait, or is the goat? No, the goat is mind controlling
the hops.
to do all the work in the brewery. Yeah,
it goes the other way.
Here to there.
Oh, I thought it was going the other way.
No.
Oh,
because they're doing all the work in the brewery. So I guess
this goat is my man then.
Is that a fucking goat? Yeah, it's a goat.
It's
for sure.
a goat.
It's a goat. Yeah, it's got horns. And
can you, Mark? Can you like put this up there so like people understand what the heck we're talking about? Like,
yeah, you gotta
show the camera what.
But you know what we can do? Maybe we can take a panoramic picture of it as we rotate it. Or
yeah,
we'll get.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll put it on the video or something.
This is the other one, the first one, the Churchville Lager. It says Churchville, but there's an angel puking on it,
and a satyr chugging it out of
yeah.
And then he's passed out on the ground.
Yeah, we were really into the foam labels, but I think these are maybe not as these are artistically awesome, but not as like artsy as those. But it's
a different kind. It's not like the street art kind of style. This is like they had a theme. These are well designed labels.
But there's like hidden shit in them. It's like a Where's Waldo of beer labels.
Yeah,
yeah. There's a good. Snapshot from their website.
Yeah, we'll put that up.
But this is insanely tasty.
Yeah. This is dangerous beer.
Yeah.
For me, on this one, it's gonna be Bomber. It's almost growler level, but of all of them, this to me is the sweetest of them.
Yes, I think I agree.
I think that might also be partly the increased alcohol content.
Definitely, yeah, that's a very good point. So that's why it lands at a Bomber. But as far as the style goes and as far as beer goes, I don't know if it gets better.
Yeah. I'm going to second you with a Bomber, but I'm also going to give it that designation of I want to make sure I have Bombers of these available. Like we've talked about numerous times before, like there's certain beers that we've said like I can't drink more than 2 or 3 of them at a time.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to have like to pull it out and just be like, hey, whoever's here, I want you to try this because this is a really tasty beer.
Yeah.
So I would gladly stockpile Bombers of these.
I mean, that's why. I mean, it's handy that it comes in 4 packs of 16-ounce cans.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Churchville Lager came in 6 packs of 12-ounce cans, and the Dunkel and the Maibach both came in 4 packs of the 16-ounce cans.
Yeah, and I think the 16-ounce can would be perfect serving for one person on a given time, but.
Oh yeah, but especially for this.
I could totally make the mistake of all of a sudden drinking
one, being like, "Wow, that was really good,"
and then going into the second one, and then being like,
getting halfway through and being like, "Man, it's tough."
Funny story about drinking too much Maibach. The first game of the NBA Finals was like last week.
Is the NBA Finals over now?
It was sure as fuck is. And I don't watch a lot of basketball, but I happen to like watching playoff basketball. Okay. And I happen to love LeBron James. Let the hate begin. So anyway, I was watching that game, and I had some growlers of the Maibach from Long Island. So I had three 32-ounce growlers and 1 64-ounce growler.
Yeah, I had one of the 32s.
Yeah, so I drank. They weren't full because they were poured from a keg that was brought to my house.
I know, I poured them.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm telling the listeners, not you.
You're talking to me, damn it!
You're looking at me while you're speaking.
Yeah, it shouldn't be confusing to you in episode fucking 91. So anyway, I drank roughly 20 ounces of the first one, and then that's really good. You know what? I'm gonna drink the other one. So I drank another roughly 20 ounces, and I was pretty fucked up. But I'm like, that's enough. We're good for tonight. And then it goes to overtime. I'm like,
it'll get you every time.
Got one more of them. It's going to be a little bit.
I need a beverage while I'm
So
watching this.
I drank another 20.
Ball.
I drank another 20 ounces of a 7.7% beer, so 7 point something. And I was like, oh my god, I was in my own house, and I was like, holy shit, like looking at the walls, like, can I get to my bed?
Yeah, your house is dangerous.
There's so many steps and
Right,
shit.
exactly.
And I've only been there for like 2 months.
Yeah, you
So
can't
it's
walk
still
around
totally
in
new.
blindfolded.
I almost fell down into my bedroom, and I wasn't drunk.
You could have just slept in the parlor and been done with it.
Yeah, I might have done that. Yeah, my house is a parlor.
The step down into the living room is fine. The one that is tricky is the one halfway down the hall.
Yeah, no, that's what. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
but I
rough one.
could see if you were sitting down in the living room,
Yeah.
getting out of the living room might be an issue.
It kind of was. I had to, the thing was, I had to get down after the first 40 ounces. I had to get down to the basement to get the other one out of the beer fridge.
Uh-oh.
The way back up, I have an automatic light. The
Yeah.
light turned off.
Oh.
And I'm walking up the stairs in the dark, which sucks to begin with. And I'm also hammered. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die in my own house.
Good thing we're putting in that railing, right?
Yes. Yeah, that railing's a piece of shit. I gotta replace that. Anyway, all to say that my box are very, very, very drinkable, and this one in particular, especially for the alcohol content, is amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go growler on this one again, and give these 3 beers the hat trick.
The hat trick.
I really like it, and it's definitely gonna be like, all right, like maybe the start of a long weekend or something, but like yeah.
So
or the end of a long week. Like,
Yeah.
like, you know, I thankfully got a reprieve, but I thought Wednesday was going to be a very long day for me.
Right.
And my bid book got postponed, so thankfully,
Yeah.
I was not stuck there.
Mark's liver was super happy about it. So I think we're gonna cut this episode here. However, for you guys, it's gonna be like a time warp. But next week we're gonna do part 2 of this. Next week for us is in 4 minutes, but
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. But definitely tune in for that, because that's going to feature some more, at least one more beer that has some interesting adjuncts, and it happens to be a Russian Imperial Stout, so we'll sneak peek.
Do we want to go to our first ever, or do we want to save it for next week?
No, we're gonna say first ever what?
Listener mail.
Oh yeah, we want to do listener mail. I
We've
forgot
got
about
listener mail.
Yeah,
Woo!
right, especially thank you, Billy.
That's right. And this one is a huge shout out to a buddy of mine from college, William Sweeney.
Yes.
He's as a Mick as you can imagine. And he sent us a little review of Magic Hat's Barroom Hero, telling us that we needed to try it out. So he said, I typically stay away from gimmicky beers where they sell you with, hey, this band or this famous idiot made a beer. Barroom Heroes, guys. If you don't know, it's Dropkick Murphys. You got to go see them. Anytime they're in town, go see them. They're an awesome show.
Stay out of the mosh pit. You will fucking die.
No, go in there. Go whole hog. Why would I not drink this? It's got pure kryptonite hops in it. But when your favorite band and everyone else's, don't kid yourself, the Dropkick Murphys collaborate with Magic Hat, you take the damn bait. On first sip, nothing. Was totally lost at what they were going for. No idea what a pub ale is or what it was supposed to taste like. With the can being finished, I was underwhelmed and could only say, well, it's dark, but super clean and not heavy in at all. But persisted, and it was a Tuesday after all. And I'm glad I did. As I drank it and got some slight chocolate notes, as well as a hint of coffee, kind of stout or porter-like, with a very subtle hop kick. So, fast forward to the show with Flogging Molly that he went to last night. So it was Dropkick and Flogging Molly, who I've also seen together. When the two of them are together, it's like, there's kilts flying, there's shit going all over the place.
You're pretty sure there's going to be a car bomb in the parking lot?
Do they tour independently of one another?
They do. They actually do, but they cross paths very frequently.
Because I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen the bill being those two and some opening act.
In Boston.
They only play in Boston on St. Patty's Day.
Right.
But at that show, he was throwing back can after can and totally enjoyed it at that point. And so he gives it with the credit of, yes, super crushable. And also, he's too juvenile to comment on mouthfeel. But, hey. And he goes, cheers, gents, and thanks for humoring me. Thanks for all the good stuff. Bye.
That's awesome.
So, thank you, Billy, for sharing, sending us a message, and letting us know that there are people out there that listen.
Absolutely.
So, I was very excited to hear about that. And Magic Hat always makes some interesting stuff. So, I've checked, I've had a number of their ones. Number 9 is one that you can always find all over the place.
That's everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, that was
it was a solid standby for me for a while.
Me too. That was one of the ones that before I knew anything, that was the most interesting beer.
Right.
Like that was like if that was on, that's what I was having.
Yeah. Are they the one that they do a optical illusion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one wasn't like
that's Blue Point.
Blue Point's optical illusion. They do something similar though. There's a similar.
One with a very similar logo, like that. But Magic Casman is not new to the game in any way, shape, or form. They've been doing it. They always seem to make some quality stuff. So
yeah, I was glad to hear from Billy. He was part of the drunkest night of my entire life.
Yeah. You and that dog were so in love.
Oh shit! I definitely got AIDS in that store.
Probably. But you offered everybody a donut, so
Jesus,
it was fun.
All right, well, yeah,
we'll tell that story some other time.
Yeah, some other time. So tune in next week for the next part of Neshaminy Creek. It'll be worth it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.